you can't help everybody on the earth, but everyone on the earth can help somebody, and that would suffice. Uh, Company matters more than the journey or the destination, right? So enjoy
Correct.
your company, your own company, enjoy each moment, try living in the present time.
Mm-hmm.
um, Stop being anxious. So I'm not asking anyone to stop making goals or stop manifesting things, but be first present in the present moment. That is what
Mm-hmm.
mindfulness is all about, right? Again, as I said, that whatever we achieve or whatever we believe is ours is actually nothing is ours. So Shunya is, again, I would say it's an apt title. You need to read the book. I'm suggesting it to the readers. I know you have read it. We need to read the book to understand the depth of this title. This simple looking word has got immense depth in it, right?
Hello and welcome, listeners. You have tuned into Anon Streams, where we deep dive into the realms of literature and self discovery. I'm your host, Siddhant Pradhan, and today we are embarking on a transformative journey through the pages of Shunya by Shri M. Today, with me, joining Miss Anush Sapra. She's a reader by heart and working as a curriculum manager and a teacher trainer. But most importantly, she is a spiritual seeker.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here, Siddhant.
Lovely. So it's our listeners' pleasure, ma'am, to have you onboarded. And without a further ado, let's get started. And this book, Shunya, has multiple themes, multiple layers. And to explore each themes would be a great interest, ma'am. And I have been waiting for this particular moment to explore all those themes and all those questions that would have came across while reading. And the very first thing that actually pondered my mind while reading this book, that do you agree that being a reader of this particular book can question your identity and the concept of nothingness?
Right, Siddhant, I'm sure when Sri M had written this book, he had the similar thought in mind that, you know, he didn't have any big purpose other than something really very basic but profound, that we all have come here, we all are here in this world with a purpose. So we originate from one source and we dissolve into that particular source. So in between, whatever we do, it's actually insignificant. We take pride in so many things. We take pride in having a lavish car, a big bungalow, or we like to hoard money and a lot of material wealth, and we do boast our relationships and contacts and everything else. But what happens in the end? We all again merge into the divine, right? So from beginning till the end, no matter what we do or what we so-called achieve, it's nothing. It begins with nothingness and it ends in nothingness. So everything is shunya, right? I hope
Indeed.
this clears your question.
Indeed, ma'am. Indeed. I mean, I can't agree more on that. And moving ahead with the concept of nothingness itself, could you please elaborate on the significance of the title Shunya and the relevant themes of this book?
Siddhant, title, as I told you, is apt because you have to be very open-minded to understand why this title, and why should we strive to reach shunya, right? In English language, if we say, "Oh my God, I have reached a ground zero," or "I'm back to square one," so it makes some other sense. But when we talk it in spiritual sense, so whether it is Hindi or English or any other language, it is something which has no beginning or it has no end. So it
Hmm. Hmm.
it talks about the biggest reality of our life, of anyone's
Hmm.
life. It's that it has no beginning, it has no end, right?
Correct.
We Our life spans across a lot of a lot of lifelines, right? I know it's a very big concept and there's no proof to it, but then it happens and we know it. And again, as I said, that whatever we achieve or whatever we believe is ours is actually nothing is ours. So Shunya is, again, I would say it's an apt title. You need to read the book. I'm suggesting it to the readers. I know you have read it. We need to read the book to understand the depth of this title. This simple looking word has got immense depth in it, right?
Indeed, indeed. I mean, I was actually thinking about the same answer. To all the listeners, Shunya is actually more than nothingness, or it's actually more than zero. And trust me, if I'm a listener and I haven't read this particular book, I may go into the dilemma: is it a biography of Aryabhat? But it's not. It's way more than that. And talking about the terminology Shunya, ma'am, we know that the enigmatic figure of Shunya, is something that this book talks about a lot. And with regards to that, who is Shunya for you? A lunatic, a dark magician, or perhaps an enlightened soul?
Right. So it is again a perspective, when uh, it's up to the reader, because nowhere Shunya reveals his identity throughout the book. Even when he's gone, you would not know that who he was, what was his purpose, unless you try to read in between the lines, right? So he keeps calling himself all the time that I'm Shunya. I've come from Shunya. I am nothing, right? But the profound lessons, the deep knowledge that he has, the kind of enlightenment he shows without preaching it, actually actually makes us believe that he was an enlightened soul, right? Whose purpose was simply to make people meet themselves, right? Again, I would suggest to the readers, go ahead, read and understand what is Sri am trying to tell us through this book.
Correct, correct. Uh, Indeed. I mean, it's about the perception that how you carry forward with Shunya. And in order to get that perception, I would actually request the listeners also to go ahead with this book. Moving ahead, there were n number of teachings, n number of revelations, and throughout the book, there were some impactful teachings and some impactful revelation that you would have also encountered with. So, with regards to that, for you, what is that one, or there can be more than one impactful lesson that you learned from any of the character or any of the chapters?
Right. So actually, there are two examples. I will quickly talk about both of them. One is where the favorite disciple of Shunne, he gets to encounter a dog who also apparently he who also lives near Shunya, talking, talking like a person, right?
Hmm.
And that is the point where story takes another turn, and this person who is on the path of seeking something, who has come who has come from very far off world, but is settled here because he wants to know himself, and he's not been able to till now, but even Shunya knows that he's capable of. So he get a lot of revelation through that animal. He feels his oneness with the nature and all the creatures of this world. So that was one example which was really very enlightening. Another is of a small child, and there's
Yes.
so many people who were wanting favors from Shunne in the book, in this fictional book. But then there's a child. He gets to travel to his place of dreams. He gets to go to Sabrimala,
Correct.
which
Yes.
is very far from here, and it's kind of astral travel that takes place. Shuna lets him do that, and that is one example where you get to know, you can associate that particular example with teachings of Krishna as well. A lot of teachings. My favorite, and I think everyone's favorite, is when he says. कर्म कर फल की इच्छा मत कर.
Matkar.
So it's
Indeed.
like the child is so selfless and so giving. What he gets in return is huge. It's enormous. So that is
Correct.
one example. Another example, I really fell in love with. I actually read these two chapters, these two anecdotes twice while I was reading.
Indeed, ma'am. I mean, it has an impact. And to the listeners who are curious that or at what chapters this kind of quest will be coming around, I can just give you a hint. It will be starting at from chapter 14, but it's not something that you should directly jump from chapter 14 itself. So it's something that there are small little chapters with great impact. And if you start today, those chapter 14 would be like a cakewalk for everyone. So it's something you should start today itself, and there are n number of lessons and takeaways you would be taking with you. Moving ahead,
Right.
ma'am. I mean, before I jump to the next question, trust me. I mean, to the listeners who can connect with me, there is a scene in a series named The Office. It's like there is a committee, a book reading committee, where characters such as Pam, Oscar, Toby come together. They read books on different aspects and genres, and they come together on a tea kitty break kind of thing, and they discuss such kind of summaries of those books and how they can provide a perception to their audience was something I'm feeling right now. You being Pam, I being Toby, and we are just discussing books and we are just discussing the anecdote of those aspects is something and trust me, I'm totally enjoying it and I'm totally invested into it. And
Gratitude.
mm,
Thank you, Siddharth.
moving ahead, you talked about the teachings and impacts and everything. But is there any specific teaching and lessons that our listeners, as well as me, as a Gen Z or a millennial, can connect and can implement in our day to day lives towards personal growth or inner peace?
Right, sure, sure. Though there are plenty, but I would like to mention one really special one. It's a unique one. It's that there's no age to, embark on the journey, as you say, of enlightenment, meditation, seeking yourself, seeking your purpose in the world. So there's one particular incident in which an ex Don, he he changes entirely. He transforms, right? He
Yes.
transforms. He transforms in a way which is unbelievable, and throughout his life till his end, he does so much for the society. He literally becomes a philanthropist, and he dies very peacefully with a lot of content in his heart. So we change when our perspectives change, and when we start living not with a wish or wishes to fulfill our needs, but when we become more of a giver, right? I'm not asking
Yes.
Gen Z to be philanthropist, go just become a
Mm-hmm.
philanthropist, but there's a saying which
Mm-hmm.
says that you can't help everybody on the earth, but everyone
Correct.
on the earth can help somebody, and that would suffice.
Indeed.
Right? If
Indeed.
you look at
Correct.
Shunya's life, you'll understand the whatever journey he takes. I mean, he has no aspirations. He has no
Correct.
expectations from anyone. He's just there to guide, teach, mentor, or help simply. Right. So that is
Correct.
the simplest yet the biggest learning.
Can't deny on it truly. I mean, uh, it has its own perception, it has its own learnings, and all those learnings, all those impacts you just talked about, it's actually demand of the era, and I can't agree more on it. And lastly, and most importantly, to sum up the essence of Shunya in one sentence, what it would be, and why should the listeners pick up a copy of this book and give it a shot?
See, why they pick up the book and read it is they have to pick it up and read it, and only then they would know, because a lot of things we have already told. So if we'll tell
Yes.
more, it will be like, okay, the cat is totally out of the bag. right?
Correct.
And your first question, what is the biggest learning? It's again, I can recall. I think it's from Rudyard Kipling that
Mm-hmm.
uh, your company matters more than the journey or the destination, right? So enjoy
Correct.
your company, your own company. Enjoy each moment. Try living in the present time.
Mm-hmm.
um, Stop being anxious. I'm not asking anyone to stop making goals or stop manifesting things, but be first present in the present moment. That is what
Mm-hmm.
mindfulness is all about, right?
Totally, totally, totally. With that, we have came to an end of our discussion. I would like to thank Anusapra ma'am for sharing her insights and wisdom on Shunya. And remember, listener, the essence of Shunya lies in its ability to challenge, inspire, and awaken the spirit within all of us. Pick up a copy of this book and embark on your journey towards self discovery. Until next time, stay curious, stay inspired, and keep seeking truth. This is Siddhant Pradhan and Anusapra ma'am signing off.
Bye bye.